Firstly, hi, welcome back. Secondly, today we're gonna have a little chat, okay? I wanted to do a video today on how to take your power back. The reason I wanted to do this video is because I feel like you can get into a rut in life sometimes where you feel like you're just on autopilot and you're going through the motions and you almost feel like life is happening to you. It's such a horrible place to be in because you feel like you're kind of powerless in your own life, like you don't have any control over it. And I have a few pointers here that I implemented in my life which really made me feel like I took my power back, and I'm gonna give them all to you because I don't gatekeep. Number 1, knowing yourself. Number 2, signs and superstitions. Acting confident, no one gives a shit. These are all gonna make sense once I break each one down. So get your notes app out on your phone, get a little notepad out if you're feeling a little bit old school, and let's have a little chat. Okay, so number 1, building a relationship with yourself. Listen to me very carefully. This is like the most important thing that you could potentially do in your entire life, because I swear how you feel about yourself and your relationship with yourself is going to dictate every other aspect of your life. So I used to literally have a phobia of spending time alone. I don't know what that was. Like, I think I was just scared to like really face myself and be with myself like on a deeper level. So I was like thrown into spending loads of time alone when I became single, after constantly spending time like with people, and not just necessarily like in my last relationship, but like with friends, with family. Like I was just always around people. And then I went into like my single era and I truly realized the value of spending time by yourself and getting to know yourself outside of anyone else's influence, because you don't realize that when you're constantly spending time with people, they influence the way that you think, the way that you act, your opinions on things so much that you almost lose your sense of self and like how you really feel about things and your true core beliefs outside of anyone else's influence. And once you start to really get comfortable in your own company, spend time by yourself, reflect on yourself, journal. I know it sounds cheesy, but I swear it helps you so much to like truly learn about yourself. Once you start doing all of these things, like really reflecting on yourself, learning about yourself, why you are the way you are, you become so much more confident in yourself and self-assured that like, I got this, I know how I feel about things, I know that I'm capable, I know that I can do things by myself. It's truly life-altering to know that no matter what, like you've got yourself and you are firm in your beliefs because you're not swayed by other people. So in conclusion, spend time alone, do self-reflection, truly get to know yourself, because knowing yourself and feeling like actually I really like the person that I am and building that version of yourself is going to build your confidence so much. On to the second point, signs and superstition. I don't know if this one is a little bit of a niche, but I do think that this is very much trending nowadays, so you may feel the same way too. I used to be such a superstitious person in 2 ways. Number 1, things like walking over 3 drains. When I tell you I did not walk, because it's meant to be bad luck by the way, in case you didn't know. When I tell you I did not walk over 3 drains for like 10 years of my life. Like I would be on a busy road in central London where there's no room, there's no wiggle room. I will stop in my tracks and like squeeze myself around the corner to not walk on 3 drains. I would not walk under ladders. Like I thought that seeing a black cat was bad luck. Like all of these things that I really let control my life. And then I feel like as time went on, we started to see like a lot more of these like angel numbers and, you know, like, oh, it's a sign, this is from the universe and all of this stuff, which I think is really sweet. And I do love like playing into that on a surface level, but it got to the point where I was literally like letting it control my life. Like if I saw a sign about something, I was like, okay, 100% it's gonna happen now because like I saw a sign, so that means it's gonna happen. Or like I'd walk over 3 drains by accident and be like, oh my God, like my life is over, I'm gonna have bad luck for the rest of my life. I was really letting it consume me. I literally got to the point where I was like, why am I giving objects and signs and these random things that I have no control over so much power over my life and how my life is going to supposedly play out? I swear one day I literally just decided like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Like genuinely, I was just like, I'm not doing it anymore. Or like Oh my god, another one I used to do was like, if you kick the back of someone's shoe, you have to shake their hand. Can I tell you how much of a bloody nightmare that is when you're at a festival or anywhere busy? Can you imagine how many feet you kick the back of at a festival? And I felt the need to shake hand. Like it wasn't normal. I got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. And I just walked over 3 drains. I see a sign. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Like cute, good vibes, but it doesn't mean anything. It's not gonna like change or ruin my life in any way. I took the power away from this external thing that I was placing so much power on. And guess what? Nothing changed. I didn't get bad luck. I didn't randomly break a leg. Like, I was absolutely fine. I lived to tell the tale. And I just feel so silly that for so many years of my life, I truly thought that like something so silly or something that's so external, which has nothing to do with me, is actually gonna give me bad luck or alter my life in any way. So I feel like a big point here, if you are someone like that too, is don't place so much power on things that are out of your control or just like random objects, because they're not gonna change your life, I promise. Like walking under a ladder isn't gonna give you bad luck, you're fine. Act confident and no one will question you. And the reason I say that is because when I started my business, Cloud9 Collective, my app, I had no idea what I was doing. Like I was talking to these like big lawyers and app developers and all of these like businessmen as like a 22, how old was I? 22, 23, something like that. 23? 24, something around there. Oh, I think I was 24. 24-year-old girl who had no idea what she was doing, but I acted confident and they believed me. They thought that I knew what I was doing. In my head, I was like, does anyone know what's going on here? Because it's definitely not me. I also feel like acting confident is a self-fulfilling prophecy, because once you start to act confident on a daily basis, it almost just becomes true. Also, anything in life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you do it enough times, it's gonna become a truth in your head. It's almost like a confirmation bias. So once you start acting confident, you're gonna become confident, because if you're telling yourself every day that you're the shit and you know what you're doing and you can do it and you're gonna achieve your goals, you will subconsciously work towards that energy rather than the energy of like, I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm never going to do anything in life. It's almost like a manifestation in a way, if you want to call it that. Once you start to act confident, firstly, everyone else is going to believe it, and secondly, you're going to start to believe it. On to my last point, no one gives a shit. And that may sound like harsh or like it's kind of like a negative point, but in fact, I mean that in the best way possible. Do you know how freeing it is to realize that no one actually cares what you're doing? And off the back of that, I will say that only people who are insecure and unhappy in themselves are the ones that talk badly about you. Because if you're happy and you're confident and you're successful, you have no reason to talk badly about other people. A, because you're staying in your own lane, focusing on your stuff. And secondly, because why should anything they're doing bother you? The only reason that someone wants to talk badly about you is because they're triggered by their own insecurity. Something that you've done has triggered them to feel insecure. You need to stop caring so much what other people think, because firstly, they don't care. Secondly, why does the opinion of some random person that you don't even know matter? Truly. Because if it was your family or your best friend or someone you truly knew was like your ride or die, only had good intentions, yes, care what they think, because they care about you and they have your best interest at heart. Everyone else, they can literally get in the bin. Like, why are we even concerned about what some random person on the internet is thinking about a post that you might think is a little bit cringy? I literally say this all the time. I thank God that no one stopped me when I was posting all of my cringy content back in the day, because if I didn't do that back then, I wouldn't be where I am now. But the fact that I just didn't care what anyone thought and I was just cringy and I let it happen, it got me to where I wanted to be. The people that are just sitting around and talking crap about you, they are gonna find someone else to talk about next week, because that is what they do. They will carry on talking about other people to avoid looking and reflecting on themselves. I promise you, like, everyone is so wrapped up in their own worlds that the only reason they're talking about you is to make themselves feel better, not because they truly care about what you're doing. So basically, stop giving so much thought to, oh, but what if that looks cringe? What if I get embarrassed by this? Like, what if that's embarrassing? Literally no one cares. And if someone does care in a negative way, we don't care about their opinion anyway, because the only reason that they care is because they are being triggered because they are insecure. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. In conclusion, I feel like the way to truly take back your power in every aspect is to bring the focus back to yourself and realize that the power truly comes from within you. You are the person who's truly going to change your life. No one else is going to do that for you, and the only thing really holding you back is your own self-doubt. So please start believing in yourself, because I promise you, you are capable of so much. I love you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.